Right, let's get this off. You know, I've been playing as a pro player for decades, but something I never really do is practice just on the mouthpiece. But I found out this week that it's actually a really amazing way to build your tone. The reason I found out is because I was filming a guest session, a lesson for sax school with an amazing classical player, Carl Raven. Now, Carl's one of the top classical guys here in the UK. He teaches at the Royal Northern College of Music, plays with all the symphonies here. I mean, he's an amazing all-rounder as well. He's a phenomenal saxophone player. And we're filming a lesson for sax school where we're talking about how to build a great classical tone. And I want to show you what he's told me about that in a second. But if you don't know about sax school, by the way, that's what I do. So I run Sax School, which is a huge online community of saxophone players. Thousands of people from around the world use our library of video lessons to get started learning saxophone or to develop skills with improvising or playing ska or jazz or blues, pop saxophone, all sorts of stuff. I'll put a link below if you want to check it out. So I was asking Carl how he approaches building an amazing tone that's always even over the whole range, and that's always in tune as well. And he shares some amazing tips about how he uses his mouthpiece. Check this out.
I guess you've done this before, but if you play the mouthpiece on its own and don't really think about what you're doing, it usually comes out as this note, which is like a for an alto, it's like a G sharp, top G sharp. So you need to bring that down to an F sharp and stay there kind of the whole time when you're playing the sax. And it just lets you be more flexible with the pitch. But also, we all know that when you play certain notes on the sax, they sound really stuffy, like a middle D. Everyone hates middle D, right?
Yeah.
You're playing a middle D, it says stuffy, and then you take your fingers off, play C sharp, and it just goes wah. And certainly the work that I do, if there's a difference in pitch and in tone between the D and the C sharp, that's my last gig with that group. So it's tough.
Right.
But I think that the control of this is really important. So it's not really necessarily knowing where the notes are orally, but it's just being in control. So finding that A, and then be able to play that note for a long time and keep it really quite level. I think that's something that I practice quite a lot.
Do you? That's really, I've never ever actually practiced just on the mouthpiece. I've never.
Oh, really?
No,
Okay.
I've never ever done that.
Right.
And I guess for me, I could never quite see the point of it. Now you explain it to me, it makes sense. So do you find that it's helping to develop your embouchure, or is it more about a control thing? Or is it more? Is it like training yourself physiologically to have that embouchure shape that you want to have consistently when you're playing?
Yeah, well, I don't think of it as being an embouchure thing. I mean, I think of it as the shape that your mouth's making. So I'm guessing that it's certainly when most of my students try this for the first time, when they start studying with me at the RNCM, they play the mouthpiece and they can maybe go down a bit, so you might get this if you try it. Maybe a tone, maybe a minor third if you've got plenty of air. But getting the whole octave requires you to move the inside of this part of your technique quite a lot.
Okay.
So certainly in the classical world, the idea is that all the notes are in tune, or try to be in tune, and all the notes have got the same kind of sound. They're just as even. So you can play one note, you can play a high F sharp, you can play a low B flat, and the idea is that they sound the same.
Okay.
So
in terms of the timbre, the quality.
So you can't tell we're struggling. I mean, well, internally we're,
okay.
And mentally we're having a huge struggle. But
yeah, okay.
It sounds like you put the thing in your mouth, and you play a low B, and it just comes out, and it's fine.
Right. Okay.
But actually, there's a whole load of internal things going on, which you have to think about, which enable it to sound like it's doing nothing.
Okay, so can you just demonstrate the whole octave thing? Yeah. Maybe the way that you would actually do it when you're practicing it.
Well, first of all, I get the piano. I would use the piano.
Okay.
I find I don't have a piano, but I'm guessing that my pitch is reasonable today. I don't know. Maybe it's not.
Okay, I'm sure we'll get some comments about it.
I'm sure. Yeah. So I can check it on the tune later.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing to practice.
Wow, so you actually practice going down a major scale like that.
Yeah. That's great. And if you're not happy with the tone, or if it's wobbly, I'll just stay on that tone for a while. Well, the great thing about this is that the neighbours love it, and everyone in your house at that particular time, they think you're great, you know.
Wow, that was interesting stuff. And I tell you what, I'm practicing with my mouthpiece now every single day. Do you use your mouthpiece when you practice? Let me know in a comment below. I'd love to know if you use your mouthpiece and if it's helped you, or if you've got certain exercises that you do. This whole guest session with Carl was packed with other information as well. He's sharing some advice and tips and techniques that he uses with his students at the Royal Northern College of Music, but also in his own playing to help maintain his amazing technique and his tone. And if you want to catch the whole of this guest session, you can do it inside Sax School as a member. In fact, you'll get access to that guest session and our full library of other guest sessions where I'm talking with other world-class saxophone players about how they approach learning and practicing and improving their skills on saxophone. Plus, as a member, of course, you get access to our full library of over 600 alto and tenor lessons covering everything from getting started through to some really advanced improvising skills, learning how to play amazing pop solos, learning how to play the blues, ska, pop, funk, everything else you can think of. It's all inside Sax School and our amazing worldwide community of students as well. So, follow the link below if you'd like to find out more. I'd love to see you inside Sax School. But also don't forget to subscribe. I'm putting videos up all the time. So make sure you click that bell icon so you get notified when new things come up. Okay, have an awesome rest of your day. Keep practicing hard. I'll catch you next time. Awesome.
Okay.